If you're at the control panel, imagine you're going to switch off the current to the tight places, one knob at a time, slow and easy. Start by turning off that worried look. Ease into a smile, not a smirk. Loosen the furrows on your forehead. Now around your nose and between your eyes. Your mouth is relaxed. And already there's less tension in your shoulders. Less tension in your arms. Your fists. Loosen them up. One at a time. Take a good breath. Now yawn. If you don't feel like yawning, fake one. Again.
Hello?
Hi, can you hear me?
Hello? Come on. Stop it.
All right.
Josh, stop it. I hate you. Josh, come on. What am I supposed to text me or something?
Oh, it's exciting. I can't believe it. This is exciting because don't I sound better than normal?
I don't know. I've heard you back and forth so many times now that it's hard to even tell. But yes.
Think about
yes.
You have good pipes in your ears, right? Is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Good ear pipes?
Yeah.
Come on, don't you like this? It's not Norm Crosby. It's not that clever, but it's the guy who confuses body parts.
Ah, I see.
I'm working like I'm in a club now. I'm working louder.
I'm still thinking of you more as the guy who confuses input and output.
That's what my wife said on our wedding night. That's what our wife said on our wedding night. Ho, ho, the merry-go-round. Everyone round the who.
So what's going on with the hoarse voice that makes you sound sort of Suzanne Plachetti?
I got sick to my stomach last night, and I know that I don't like to get graphic, but I did. There will be vomiting. You ever see that movie?
So you have acid hoarseness.
Not acid hoarseness. I think maybe just going just that, like a maniac, like a drama queen.
Yeah. Was this? Do you think this was food poisoning or anxiety?
I think it was maybe a little combination of both, because I noticed, and this is my own soup, so I know there's a metaphor, there's a lesson in here.
Yeah.
You're eating your own.
Is this a metaphorical soup or an actual soup?
It was actual chicken soup, which was fantastic, but now I don't have the taste for it anymore. But I did notice that it did taste different.
Yeah.
Like not as salty and maybe a little bit
kind of bacterial.
But that shouldn't happen from just 1 month in the freezer, should it?
Yeah, no, it shouldn't.
Well, it didn't. I mean, it did.
Something. It didn't go. It didn't go good.
I had a Jewish moment of, what is it? What is it when you have a thing to make a decision? Because I had one more container left.
Oh, a dilemma.
Jewish dilemma, free ham.
Yeah.
Was I going to throw out the rest of the soup? That made me sick. But here's the thing. I was also here's the other part. But I was starting to get a pre-speech feeling. Is how I would say that I was starting to get that nervousness.
Gotcha.
That's how it felt to me. And also, I felt, I don't feel so good. I better get some soup into me, and I better get some bread into me. So, for some reason, we got ciabatta bread, which I don't usually get. So I had a whole ciabatta bread in half, buttered.
Yeah, there's a lot of oil on ciabatta to begin with. So.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I think that's probably the answer.
But then I think I went with Susan saying, "Look, can it hurt you to throw out the rest of the soup?" I said, "No, it's not. What am I trying to be, a hero like Trump? I'm not a hero, COVID hero.
No, you're not even a soup hero,
folks. What are you worried? The point is, you got to get out there. You people at the meat packing plant, get out there. There's so many wonderful drugs that are available to me."
I can't even talk about this horrible fucking monster.
I know.
Tonight.
Let's not talk about it. You know what? Maybe we'll slide it in. We'll slide it in to the buy me a coffee people.
Yeah. No, I had a real, just like unbelievable head of anger steam today, and I don't want to go back.
I like that head of anger steam. Well, I mean, seriously, it's not just that he thinks he's a showman. He's a horrible showman.
Yeah.
And when and he wants to have, this is the guy
more like PT Bonehead.
Here's a guy who thinks all gold fixtures look classy.
Yes.
So what didn't he like about the first shot? Only someone who's so. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on this. But someone said he was very he had a Mussolini moment.
He did.
Oh, I can't believe this is going to be perhaps over soon, Josh.
It was Mussolini's cousin Herb Mussolini.
I don't want to say. Well, I don't even know what I. How can I say I don't want to say if I don't have the material?
I'm not capable of saying.
Yes. Look, I don't want to say something that would be funny because I don't have anything right now. So maybe I should tag everything with, so there's that.
I think you should.
Also, Josh, I'm very worried about my voice. What if this continues? What if it goes hoarse? The whole country is depending on me.
Andy,
October 10th.
I'll give you the same advice your doctor would give you. Stop throwing up.
Andy. And I think this is a good thing. I think the binging, I've never had a problem like this, but now that it's close to the speech, I should start overeat. It's a weird thing I get into. I go, oh no, you can't. Between now and Saturday, you can't be too hungry. Yeah, but you can't be too stuffed. You can be too stuffed. I know that these are things you understand, having been down that road.
Sure.
But I have been so fancy-free my whole life. I started out as an amazing athlete.
Uh-huh.
I had the lowest pulse in my high school. Do you think that I am right now living in between a very obnoxious character that's not funny and a very obnoxious character that would be slightly amusing, but I'm not pulling it off?
It's that is a thin little alley you're creating for yourself there.
That's my thin blue line, like Harold Morris.
It's the thin Jew line. I think we know that, don't we?
That's Howard Morris and Errol Morris. Why did I mix up Rooster T? His name isn't Rooster T. Funny Bone, is it? Brewster T. Stubbs. Come on.
What are you talking about?
Come on, the guy Howard Morris who was on Andy Griffith's show.
Ernest T. Bass.
Ernest T. Bass. They had great names back in those days. I really like that. Oh man, I can't watch that show. I do reach a saturation with everything. I've reached it with, of course, I Love Lucy, MASH.
Yeah.
And there's some shows I can still watch because I haven't seen them as many times. Like, I guess The Odd Couple has never been shown as much as other shows.
Yeah.
But I can still watch that one. And Mary Tyler Moore if I take a break for a few years. Can you write this down? Can you take a note before you? Okay, would you prefer this, Josh? Would you prefer?
What's hard about it, Andy? What's putting a little extra hard sauce on it is that your voice makes it sound like you're 80 right now. So I'm really imagining I'm projecting ahead to life.
So Josh, I told you and the listeners that the first day I was in assisted living, I would do like a documentary, I made a tape today of me downstairs in the cafeteria.
You know how Mel Brooks' voice has sort of got a little hoarser and went up as he got older?
Yeah, I do. You know what, though? You know what your problem is? You're not decrepit yet.
Thank you.
When you get decrepit like me, you'll change your tune. I'm not decrepit. First of all, for a man my age, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, you came by today and you looked like a camp counselor again.
Oh, the doggies. Now, that was very much fun today. I even wrote down what I said, and I wrote it on my phone so I wouldn't forget. Now, if I had to rely on my memory, never would have remembered it. But
so it must be worth it.
Yeah. So I say, What do I say is the only? What did I lie about? I said something that was so phony. I said it's the only. Oh, Josh and Allison, it is the only luxury I'll allow myself.
I had to bust your chops on that. It was about getting your groceries delivered. It was your own.
Oh God, that was so typical. That was so typical with somebody who is trying to be Jew, white, self-loathing, or apologetic about his back.
Sorry, hey, first world problem over here. I know.
Yeah. Hey, the only reason why I'm with business is I used miles. That kind of person.
Right.
See, the thing is, people might think of me as phony, but I prefer to think of me as awkward in every situation. But that did come out bad. It's the only.
But let me just say, genuinely awkward.
Yes, genuinely.
Not phony.
Oh, have you been to? Well, first of all, Allison did a conversation breaker, which is all you need in Sherman Oaks. Oh.
Did you just shit your pants? What happened?
No, I don't want to reveal it right now.
I said I live in Sherman Oaks, even though we've said it 1,000 times.
But Allison asked me, had I visited the new pavilions? And so I felt it. Okay, I'm going to retake this again.
All right.
So, I forgot what the line would be about. Encino! And so she said, have you been to the new John's? And I said no, and then I launched very officiously. I wasn't wearing an ascot, but I might have been.
Yeah.
Perhaps I haven't told you, Allison. We don't, since the COVID, we don't frequent indoor establishments. My wife and I are both in our 60s. Oh, you must be AARP. No, I do not. I'm not aware of that organization that you were talking about. Okay, sorry. That's the end of that bit. And that bit was so bad. I pulled the headphone out of my ear.
Oh, jeez. That bit is the only luxury you allow yourself.
That's true, but I do want. But then I to recover. I said, "Oh, of course, except for the pot, $300 in pot every week."
Yeah.
And then I got home and Susan said, "How much do you spend on pot every week?" And I said, "What is that sound? What is that sound?" Oh, did you say check something in the car? Now look, Josh, I want to say this is immediately better for me as a converser. I would imagine there's not any noise that there used to be, right?
There's not any of the mic slapping across your face, and,
right?
And you pulling on it weirdly. No.
Well, did you think that I wasn't saying that, or do you just want to bring it up again?
No, I've got a real hostile streak tonight, Andy.
I like it. I like it. You know what? I like it.
Not really directed at you. You're just on the phone.
Hey, who better than me? I would say on any given day, you could think of a reason to be annoyed by me.
I could, but I don't need to blame you for my problems.
Because, Josh, I'm not... Do you know that they have a system that allows you to get the food delivered? And I'm not a person... I don't take taxis. No, I don't take taxis. I don't take Uber. I don't take Lyft.
Just rickshaws now.
No, I used to be Mr. Lyft. I'm not proud of it. I was Andy Lyft. Where was it? You know what? Last year at this time, I assume, I don't know what part of the year it is. I was spending hundreds of dollars on restaurants, going out to various places. What was I gaining?
Last year at this time, we were almost going to New York to be movie stars.
That sounds implausible now.
I know.
Pre-COVID, or as the Trumpers call it, Tuesday? No. Right. QAnon? I don't know.
Last year, they call it.
I'm starting to feel my spirits are being lifted. I feel my spirits are lifted.
By me?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
No, but by the fact that it's almost over.
Yeah.
For Trump. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. Brian Williams just spouted a nasty little fact.
What was he spouting out?
That today's poll had Biden up 14 points.
Oh, you don't want to do that. That kind of thing's bad, right?
Well, no, that wasn't it. he then reminded us that 4 years ago, Hillary Clinton at this exact point was up 14 points.
Yeah, the only thing I'll say is different is, and I don't include myself in this group. I'm voting for Hillary, and if people were too negative about her, I would start to get nauseous. So, but there was definitely people who actively did not like her. Way more people.
No, I know why. I know why it's different.
Oh, okay. So why am I? So see, you almost forced me into blowhardy. Well, perhaps you don't know what the political dynamic was, my friend.
Yeah, I paid attention.
How about I'm the world's most recent historian? So it sounds so stupid. We have Andy Kindler here, who's going to talk about the Tea Party. Yes. Now, many of you may not know. In 2010, that's it. Just the premise of the bit. That's all I wanted.
It is a good premise because it is like annoying. Is just annoying enough to be recent, but just far enough to be forgotten.
Well,
so you remember. You just bring up things that that annoy you, but you don't quite remember why.
Well, I also like somebody who goes only back to the year 2000, and only as a historian to go, well, you can trace this back. You could probably trace this back to Y2K if you want to go that far back.
Please go historian.
And then it's going to be,
Tonight, we're going to explore the historical roots of TikTok. Please go historian.
What did we used to say when there were new episodes of that what did they need? They needed 3% or something? They needed points, like Christopher Hardwick. Hey, whatever happened to Christopher Hardwick?
Give you for $140 million, I'll give you 3% of the company.
And 3%, I'm thirsty.
Boom. See? I added something.
Where's my juice?
Animal crackers.
I'm going to get my juice and we'll be right back. Please go something.
I'll tell you, there's not a lot that's comedy gold in the world, but that's comedy gold. Yeah. The last part, especially the Breach School Shark Tank. I mean, unless it got as well known as Here Come the Judge.
Yeah, that's true. I think we're under the Flip Wilson line.
Well, we never worry about overexposure.
No.
That's not us.
No.
I'd like to excuse things that, okay, look. I
was thinking of changing the name of the podcast to Dead Horse, but.
Hey, tonight on Dead Horse, beat it. Tonight on Dead Horse, why? What's wrong with Gwyneth Paltrow? No, maybe that's.
I don't know. You tried at least.
Wait, I got another.
It was better than Beat It.
Tonight on Dead Horse. H. Ross Perot. I have nothing. Why
Tonight on Dead Horse. Did people really dislike Hillary Clinton?
Tonight on Dead Horse, we find a new angle on the 2016 election. A lot of people are starting to think that maybe the fact that Hillary Clinton was a woman may have affected that election. Tonight on Dead Horse.
We'll be right back.
Okay, next week is our conspiracy theory show. Next Tuesday, and we're going to be doing it's going to be a special, seriously, one more time, what was up with that Building 7? On historical Dead Horse.
Remember that toilet paper shortage? Dead Horse.
Yeah.
We'll be right back.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that someone like Donald Trump is so evil.
How evil is he?
Thank you. Well, he's so evil that nothing can take our minds off of it. I remember I would get a year when it wasn't so much drama that I would get excited about Punxsutawney. Every Groundhog Day I would get thrilled or excited at the prospect of Punxsutawney Beat. Now there's nothing. I didn't have a good Washington's Day this year, if there was one. I didn't have a good Columbus Day like you did.
No.
Yom Kippur was depressing.
I don't even know if Punxsutawney Phil saw his shadow.
The only Phil that I need to know is patented Phil.
Uh-huh. And
see?
how?
That's an inside show thing. That'll keep.
It's also the name of the thing I built my fortune on.
Oh my God. I can't believe that this guy may go, my pillow guy, you might go down with Trump in flames.
At least I can.
I don't know if your pillows can.
I got a soft place to land.
I was going for a flame retardant joke.
We don't say that anymore.
I just realized it was a bad word I added. I don't know. Is it bad? No. And exploring it will make it worse.
Yes, it will. Even I know that.
I doubt that you knew that.
I didn't know that.
So, what's happening with the masks? Don't you feel better now, though? At least you got, this really, we overcame. We had technical, I don't know if people were aware of this, we had technical glitches.
Oh, yeah. Imagine us having technical glitches.
Well, that's the thing that's amazing is both of us like to call ourselves knob hounds. I don't know. What would be a...
No, I would like to divorce myself from that sentiment immediately.
Well, I was going to say knob. I don't know what I was going to say.
Knob job?
But I landed. Where I landed, I may have made the wrong choice, but that was my second choice.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I'm telling you, you're not as thrilled about this, but the new sound, I think we can promote this like Phil Spector promoted his version of Let It Be as a new, was that his album he did?
He did the first, yeah.
And he said, it's a new Beatles sound. And you couldn't tell by then he would end up shooting someone. Folks, this is the kind of edgy, this is like Mr. Reminiscence's political material.
Tell me more, knobhound.
Well, we worked at Village Recorders back in the 70s. It's hard to believe the two knobhounds from Orange County could come to L.A. and work the board for AC/DC or another band from the era.
Until we were phased out by those slider jockeys.
You know what I told you? When I told you, well, I didn't know you at this age, but I said, you know what? I have one word for you. Digital. Everyone looked at me funny. Okay. Maybe this is what, sometimes on this podcast, I do realize, first of all, that I'm raspy, but I also realize why I never did go into improv.
Yeah.
I don't listen.
No, I was going to say, I think it's because you're bad at it.
That's it. You know what? Sometimes the shortest distance 2 points is putting me down. Who's with me on that?
I think it was when the groundling says, please don't join our group, Andy Kindler.
Hey, I got a new line that I'm using. Oh, I tipped it.
Where are you using it?
On radio shows mostly.
Okay.
What is this, a party line? Merrill Marco's book is unbelievably great. It's a graphic memoir called We Saw Scenery. It's about her early diaries that she found.
I know.
And she's great at drawing, and she's hilarious. And I get $5 every time I hold a sandwich board outside of Subway. Anyway, that's the Kindler take.
Well, let me more than echo that take and say that I'm halfway through it now, and I love it a great deal. And it's, I already have a sort of comedy crush on Merrill Marco to begin with, but this is just a really smart way to present this material.
And she's just hilarious, and and she uses the form, where you can have a joke commenting on the like she quotes from the diary, and she goes, "Obviously, I wasn't Anne Frank."
Yeah,
and she's got every couple of pages has something like that.
Yeah,
I loved her book, How to Be Happy Like Me. For a long time I've enjoyed her writing, even though I've known she was funny, and she was a great stand-up during the alternative. She could do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the fact that she did an actual graphic novel that she drew herself kind of proves the point. She can do it all.
That's absolutely true. And I think you said that as a stab against me. No, actually, it's not a stab against me. I would like to do something like that one day, but why would I take the smoke away from? Why would I take the? I'm less jealous. I can't really even say I'm jealous because I love this book so much. So I would only say I'm jealous as a way to annoy myself and go, "Where's your book, stupid?"
What are you jealous about?
I could be jealous in the past, like if I had never. Every time I would think about someone's comedy album, and I would know I haven't put my album out in years.
Oh,
and
you're
years
jealous of her product,
right?
Well, that's good.
Right.
I think that's a good kind of jealousy,
right? But when I use it as I am trying to get out of the mode of saying that there's any reason why you can't, whatever it is you want to do, you or feel, it doesn't matter that it's now, even though. It's easy for me to say this, that when I'm 63, that it really isn't a matter of age, whether I'm happy or it really is a matter of internalizing or whatever that be here now thing. Because that be here now thing, I loved it when I first heard it, when I read the book, the Ram Dass book, but then it's something that just comes back to you much, much later, to the actual point of it, which is you don't believe when you're younger sometimes because I really was not consumed by ambition, but I based my self-esteem on what I had achieved in music and then comedy, and I think that was always bad.
I really wish I would have been there now yesterday, but at least I'll be here now in the future.
That's exactly true. Well, it's true, but I mean, the point is that I don't know how I got off on this, but something about I'm happier now.
I started off with you were proud of yourself for not being jealous of Meryl Marco's book,
right? Because if you haven't put out, let's say you have a comedy partner and he's like hectoring you all the time about what you haven't done,
yeah,
and where's your album? No, seriously, if you have like OCD or like everybody has it to a degree, but if you've either self-sabotaged or prevented yourself from doing things, then you could just be jealous of everything at some point. I don't feel that way anymore. I don't know if I ever was that jealous of everything, but I just feel like I'm definitely happier now. I don't know if it's because I got those 2 deaths under my belt.
All right. I understand jealousy, but I'm never jealous of people when what they did would have been really hard. Well,
I was always jealous of Louis C.K.'s success. Oh, I see what you're saying. I didn't know what you were saying. I actually, because you were so dead.
I get jealous.
I don't want to say you were.
I get jealous of people who get easy things.
Well, I always thought of myself as being classless, but now I realize that it's being classless. is what people are saying. They're saying use your napkin. Somebody. I think as I get older, I'm more comfortable with bailing out of the act or the bit.
Yeah. A little too comfortable sometimes.
I think so. Because you get to that point where, you seem like you're so comfortable in the podcast, Andy. Why don't you raise the stakes and do something? A little bit. Okay. They can't all be gems. I told you that.
I understand.
Josh,
They can't all be gems, said the king of Zirconia.
Zirconia I've decided that that's not an actual thing. It's a made-up name.
I know. Zircons are a thing.
You son of a bitch. This is what makes me mad. This is what this isn't jealousy. This is pure hate. I hate.
See that?
I'm angry at you.
I'm angry. Grok.
Do you know I had never used, well, you would have never used that expression. I don't think that expression ever really broke through except in a movie.
It was Heinlein. It was from a Heinlein book.
Oh, that I didn't know. That's, I have not read any of the Robert Heinlein books.
That's okay. And that's okay.
In fact, I've read no sci-fi.
Yeah.
But that's sci-fi.
I'm
not bragging.
I like some sci-fi, but it was never my my go-to genre.
I would say, in my own defense, who talks like that?
Defendants.
I'm letting go. I try to let go of of what I want or what would want to see. Or okay, you know what? I just lost it. I lost it and I tried to pick it back up again. I don't know why I'm losing it every 10 seconds.
There's a really high jabber quotient tonight, I have to say.
I think this is what happens when you watch a guy. You watch the president. He's supposed to be the president. He walks into a building and he comes out. He takes it again. I don't think I've ever seen that in my entire life. You don't take it again.
The whole thing just fucking destroyed my whole psyche for the day.
It would be like if FDR fell down and then tried to crawl back out and walk in again. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful crowd. Please give to the...
See you next time on Preschool Historian.
This sounds like a canned question, but you travel around the country. Do you monkey around with your material based on where you're going? If you're down in Miami or in New York versus playing Vegas or the lake out Tahoe or Reno, do you change up what you do? Or?
No, I pretty much come out, get the money, and go home early. No, people are people. Naturally, if you work Iowa, which I don't plan to work, you would change. If you played Minnesota, you do German fight songs. But I plan to always work in the States. So when I go down to Miami, there's a lot of my people, a lot of Jewish people down there, so I sell bread. And we have a good time around the country because the major gambling cities the people are very with it. And, of course, New York is great. You've never been out to Westbury.
I came from Reno. A lot of hip people in Nevada.
Oh, Reno's great. I got an uncle there who's a leper. Yeah, he's very ill. And Reno's a lot of fun. On Saturday night, you watch flies die on a truck. So it's a great town, Reno.
That sounds promising.
Yeah. There we go.
All right.
The toggling worked.
All right.
Are you recording? It's a joke.
No, I am. It's worth asking.
Okay. But I don't have to look at the input now because I know you're getting me, right?
Yeah, I can hear you and you can hear me all as well.
All right. Okay, well, I got nothing. Now that we saw that, I realize I got nothing.
Well,
but I don't have to have anything.
You don't have to. You just came fresh from therapy, I know, so you drained a little bit already.
No, that's not so. Maybe your assumptions. I'm so drained.
No, I mean you drained some of the reservoir.
Let me tell you something, my friend.
Yeah.
One thing that never gets drained is the hilarity. My hilarity reservoir.
I was thinking your anxiety reservoir is really what I was thinking of.
That I could power 7 cities with that. That's the way. I didn't really understand how dams work.
Yeah.
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. Was that what he was referring to? I'm on today. I'm never really off, but I'm particularly on today.
Well, that's good. Then I feel much better about losing yesterday's show.
First of all, I felt bad about not responding to your last text because I think I turned my phone off or something because then all night you had to feel bad. No, that's not true, Andy. That's you.
Well, there's 2 things. One is, your non-response didn't translate to me as, oh, he's fuming.
Right. Just a little bit too passive aggressive.
And 2, it was a half hour that we both acknowledged as we were doing it wasn't so great. So
that's where I don't necessarily agree with you because I felt I was on last night. Speak for yourself. What's this voice? Is it Brooklyn? Is it?
I don't know.
Speak for yourself.
It's got a sexy rasp, though.
Give me a little Harvey Firestein. Can you do it?
I can do a little Harvey Firestein, sure.
And that means I could do it. That's one of the few I could do. Oh, forget about it.
That's not so good.
It doesn't hold a torch song.
Everything sounds to me like bad Louis Armstrong when I do it. Oh, my. What does he say?
That was bad Al Jolson you're thinking of.
Yeah, I went mammy. That's nice, Andy. Oh, by the way, I did hear. I finally saw a truck with the turkey in the. I don't know if I've talked to you about this, but I didn't realize that there are ice cream trucks or dessert trucks that play turkey in the straw
in our neighborhood consistently for the entire pandemic. Weirdly enough.
Yes.
Which makes me believe that they're probably selling fireworks and drugs as well.
Well, I've heard that, I thought it was Dixie that I was hearing, which is a terrible song.
No.
But then someone else told me that that's also a bad song, Turkey in the Straw. But that didn't do any more.
Yeah, we've
There's
delved.
bad versions and good. What's that?
We have delved into this before. Just
God damn it! I knew it. You know what it's like? It's like in the movie Awakenings, where you kind of know.
right.
You kind of know that you've been here before. If I had ever been here before, I would probably know just what to do with all of you. That's my impression of the 60s songs.
All of them.
Yes. With all of you. I don't like the part of the 60s where everybody was, let's get down, and I don't feel that way anymore. Who wants to get it? Do you need it? Then go get it. You know what I mean?
If you want it, here it is. You better hurry because it's going fast.
Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one. I was sad that Eddie Van Halen died. I really decided that, I guess I didn't know as much about that. I mean, when the songs I heard, I loved, like Jump and Panama, but I didn't know much about them as a group. Maybe those songs I heard were their best songs, but.
Well, no, you just heard 2 songs from one of their albums.
Right. But if you, Jump is my favorite song.
Yeah.
But then I also love his solo on Beat It.
Yeah. Okay. So you have a news package knowledge of Eddie Van Halen.
You have to put me down.
I do.
You have to.
I do because.
What's wrong with what I said? What's wrong with what I said why did it require such a nasty response?
It was the most perfunctory knowledge.
No, but going past that, I really love the way he plays guitar.
He was amazing.
Love
yeah,
it.
he got every ounce of sound out of a guitar.
And someone, I think his name is John Perales. I may not be pronouncing his last name right, but he wrote a really great review of him where he just talked about like how much fun he had while he was playing. Like it was not like he wasn't like a dark. He wasn't a dark presence. He was actually really having, and also he was apparently a good keyboard player too.
Yeah,
he came up with that
on Jump, yes, which was one of the first keyboard riffs I ever learned when I got my synthesizer for my bar mitzvah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
That and Axel F I learned as well.
What is that?
Beverly
What is that? Who is that?
Beverly Hills
Axel
Cop.
S.
It's Beverly Hills Cop thing. Axel F.
That's pretty cool.
By Harold Faltermeyer.
You not just you could make up any name you want now, and I wouldn't know what you're saying.
I know.
It was by Frank Faldermeyer. What if I told you that Spirit in the Sky was written by a Jewish man named Norman Greenbaum?
I would never believe you in a million years.
It's true, though, Josh. It's true.
No.
It is true.
No. You're the boy who cried Jew. I don't believe you.
The boy who cried Jew. I don't know why I sung there. That was just desperate. Desperate times call for Jews.
I understand.
It's not a good.
So did you see how I got on board with the whole the virus doesn't care thing for you?
That was great.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
I believe it's your never got a dinner for 2020.
You wrote some excellent ones, and I do think it's going to be a good runner for us. I know I already have more than enough time, but I didn't. I'm so fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding with you. I'm exhausted.
I'm a little run down. Yesterday was my peak rundownness, which I was actually spent time on the non-recorded show talking about how I'm off my game today, and then proved it.
Oh, you know what? I thought you were saying that you have another podcast that you do. That's just a non-recorded show.
Yeah, that I do. It's with you on yesterday.
I blocked that out, man. This Thursday is nowheresville from me, man. I'm like Doc Ellis when he took the.
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. I don't feel well.
Well, you're definitely pitching a no-hitter so far.
It was not a perfect game, by the way.
No?
I don't think so.
No, it was a no-hitter on acid.
Yeah. What am I, on acid? All right. That's very good.
All right, settle down.
Oh, I meant to tell you, Mr. Can I call you Mr. Man?
Sure.
That I watched that last Laker game, and I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah. Good.
And I have to say that I've always been a fan of Jeff Van Gundy.
Yeah.
In general, I liked him as a coach.
No, but he is the closest thing to Andy Kindler in the booth, too.
And he's kind of like, he's always kind of angry, too, in a way.
He's a malcontent. He fetches about the really little stuff.
And then he goes off.
And he flip-flops on a lot of things that annoy him.
But he seems to have a good feel for the game.
I think he's a good coach, yeah.
Yeah. And I only say that not really knowing much
He's
about
supposedly
the game.
in consideration for the Houston Rockets job.
I like that he once called Phil Jackson Big Chief Triangle.
It's funny.
That's Van Gundy.
Yeah.
Right there.
Time has made me a little less fond of Phil Jackson, I have to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know I am, right? We've talked about that.
You hate him?
I don't hate him. I did hate him for a time period when he came out against his basketball players who were protesting about immigration issues. I was like, what did he? I thought he was a liberal.
I don't remember that happening even.
Yeah. But what turned you on him? Not turned you on him, but what changed your feelings?
Just the full brunt of his arrogance, you know. I think watching The Last Dance definitely kind of reminded me. Oh,
I got to see that now.
It's pretty good. It's a good watch.
I do have to see it.
It's definitely, it's good quarantine TV because it goes along good and it's all people you would remember probably.
Yeah. What do you mean even? I was more of a fan at some points.
Yeah.
I could name Scotty. You had Scotty Pippen. Then you had a guy who used to be on the Bulls who was like a center.
We're talking about the Bulls, actually.
No, but their center was from somewhere else. What was his name? Danny Ainge. Okay, stop it. Stop it.
No,
I'm very good with. Here's the two teams I'm good with: the 1969, 70, 73, 74 Knicks.
Okay.
And I'm good with the 80s Lakers.
All right.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Try and test me.
All right.
No, don't test me. I'm probably not that good. I don't believe Vlade Divac ever won a championship, is what I think.
I think he might have been on the last of them.
But that we called him
of the Magic era.
But also that we called him Floppy DJ, Floppy. He was a big flopper.
He was a big flopper and all, and he mastered it by the time he got to Sacramento.
When did you? So you would have to say that you. Why do you think basketball ends up just a taste thing? Why did it end up as your number one sport?
I think I like the amount of games is pretty good.
Yeah.
I like because it's a few personalities, because it's really only a dozen guys.
Right.
It's an interesting to watch a team over the course of a season.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of just sort of storyline there, or if you follow a team, and I like the game. The game works on TV for me. It doesn't have all the dead air of either football or basketball, or baseball rather.
Yes. Isn't the downside though the early quarters?
Not really. I mean, I think the magic ingredient over the last several years has been the DVR. Where play stops, you zip through it. They shoot a foul, you zip through it.
Right.
I like to start a game about 20 minutes after it really starts, and then catch up by the half, and then let it lag for that half, and then
Yeah. Yeah, I love all the sports except I'm not a big soccer fan, but I love football.
Yeah,
and I love baseball, but not baseball.
I used to love baseball a lot, and I lost that. The magic is gone for me now, and I'm finding
slow.
that football is a little too slow for me too.
Football shouldn't be slow. Football should be more action packed than basketball. But no, there's not people moving a lot.
I mean, within an hour of the clock running, there's like it's like 10 minutes of actual play.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's true. I can't watch anything in a sustained period. Even tennis. It's hard to watch a 5-match thing.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe enough already with the sports. Okay, I'm sorry.
But that's the thing is, like I'm saying, is if you follow a team, like I've happened to follow the Lakers since I moved out here, then there is that storyline that compels you a little more to watch a regular season game.
Well, I mean, I was a rabid fan because I moved out here when Magic started.
Sure. I mean, I moved out here shortly before Kobe got here, so.
Yeah, well, that doesn't count because I was here when Magic started,
right.
And I'm older than you.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. No, here's the thing, Josh. I have a desire, and I realize this is it's a bad character trait.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get my hand around it. But I have to my story has to be the best.
I know.
In my head.
You don't deliver sometimes, Andy.
No, forget about
sometimes your story is the best.
No, I don't think it is. I don't agree with you.
Right.
I think my story is never that good. But you believe if you have
even a tangential attachment to something, you still are more important to the equation.
Yeah, okay, so I'll give you an example of how my mind works. You tell me that you once went to a Green Bay Packer game. You could tell me that.
I went to a Packer game, Andy.
I saw Joe Namath win the AFL championship in 1968.
Right. No, I know. I know this about you, Andy.
Yeah. What is it? What's the problem?
You're doing first date material.
But why do I do it? I take all the joy out of everybody else's life.
It's narcissism, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid. Well, can't it be something sexier? I do think that age is curing that a little bit for me. But man, when you're as narcissistic as me,
well, because
you need a running start.
But with age, it's because your story backfires. Because you'll go, I was at the blah 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 with Joe Namath, and they'll go, who's Joe Namath? And you'll go, fuck, I'm old, and it backfires.
But it never, until the last few years, it didn't stick out to me how sad it is.
Well, I think your self-awareness game has upped itself quite a bit in the last few years.
I know, and most of it's good.
Yeah,
but some of it could be overthinky stuff too.
Right. Now this would be a good one to fix.
Yeah. What is the matter with you? Why do you have to? How did I let you get into that kind of a? It seems like I allow it to happen in many ways.
I would hope you do.
Oh, who introduced it's a good thing to fix? Who introduced that to the conversation?
That was me. You're right.
Yeah.
But you brought the problem to the table in more ways than one.
That's my promise to you, so I can bring the problem to the table.
Yes.
I feel that we owe it to the listeners, not really, but it does feel like day to day, Trump's falling apart more. It could be getting more confident.
Yeah, as I tweeted a couple minutes ago, it's starting to feel like the third act of a face in the crowd instead of the second.
Oh God, he called Kamala Harris a monster and a communist.
Right, sure.
He's not.
He goes back to his primal Roy Cohn.
Yeah. What'd you say?
He goes back to his primal Roy Cohn. That's the communist thing.
He's not kidding around or something.
He's not something.
I also liked Mark. I thought that was a good broadcast group. You had your Mark Jackson.
Yeah.
Who was the third guy?
I'm trying to remember who did the play-by-play.
Why is Joe Bucks, and I hate him too, don't get me wrong. Why is he so hateable?
I'm not sure. I don't watch enough Joe Buck calls to...
Well, I met him once too, because he was friends with the Roastmaster General.
Well, I mean, he does give off douche chills, but that's a different...
He's a douchey. He's very douchey.
Yeah.
In person, he's very... When you're standing a foot away from someone and they're giving you that, how's it going?
Yeah.
How you doing? Andy Kindler, I'm Joe Buck. How are you? He's not even giving me that. No, I'm wrong. He wasn't excited to see me. He was like, how's it going? Yeah.
Yeah, he's got.
But I noticed people can't stand him.
He's a legacy, and he's got that vibe.
I think it's because his father, because he feels people feel
That's
like
what I mean.
That's
what I meant by a legacy.
That's the legacy.
Yeah.
And his father's name was
Jack Buck.
Yeah. And everything Joe Buck isn't, Jack Buck was. Sincere, friendly, personable. And Joe Buck is anything but. I backed off the shore 58 on that one.
That was good. Good skill.
Yeah, exactly. Again, Josh. I did it again. I guess you don't. Did you know that I backed off the mic as somebody who works a mic? I mean, that's really a low bar that you walk around proud to tell people how you can operate phones.
Right.
Did you know this yesterday on the phone that your ears weren't bleeding? I've learned to modulate it.
That's right.
I do like this guy. I like this guy.
Yeah.
I wish I could be this guy.
Fake it till you make it.
I told you that one of my favorite lines is on that Albert Brooks' album where he does the impression of the DJ. There's something about a DJ's inner ear that interprets everything as a compliment. How's it going tonight? You suck! Well, thank you. It's great to be here. It's really, really great to be here. Why do I do it? Why do I try to recreate other things that are funny or interesting?
Right.
You know what movie have you ever seen?
That'd be a good one to fix.
Yeah, but have you ever seen? I don't know if I've had a chance to give you one of my all-time great movie impressions, and it's a movie. Charlton Heston plays the role of he's the head monkey.
Head monkey, really?
Yeah, he's the head monkey, right?
No, he's not.
You goddamn did it, didn't you? You goddamn did it. You goddamn blew it.
No, that's the end of Easy Rider, right?
I thought it was Soylent Green. Sorry.
No, they make a big deal. Peter Fonda makes a big deal at the end of Easy Rider that Dennis Hopper says, "We did it, man." And Peter Fonda says, "No, we blew it. But wouldn't you honestly say that there's not a plot to be seen in that movie?
Right. That was what he was talking about, I think.
That's another movie I've never seen all the way through. I don't enjoy that movie. I don't know anything about that movie.
No.
But I think I love it. I'm supposed to love it.
You might, if the best scenes of it are good, but are good. There's not that many of them.
But there seems like there's a lot of druggy
psychedelic
scenes.
Bullshit.
Yeah, like a lot of I'm high or I'm high. Shut up.
I'm high in a cemetery.
Karen Valentine is crying. It's that kind of a thing, right?
Yeah.
It's not Karen Valentine, is it?
I don't think so, but who cares?
Yeah, man. So now, other movies that are from that time period are not overrated, I don't think, because I loved Five Easy Pieces, but maybe I'd see that today and it wouldn't be as effective.
I think Five Easy Pieces was at least a few years after that.
Yeah. Yeah. But can you believe they couldn't have known that it would be that big a hit? Easy Rider.
Well, I mean, that's what you're going for.
Right. Why can't I say something interesting or... By the way, I can't... Because you brought up Joe Namath. You didn't bring him up, but you basically... I was telling you, oh, man, Joe Namath, he's my hero, and I see him on those commercials, and you're like, maybe he's not that big a hero, Andy. No, you didn't say that. You go... I said, I worry about Joe Namath. And you said you don't worry about Joe Namath. And now that I start to watch those commercials, he's starting to annoy me. Because he says, you don't have time? You don't have time to make a phone call? To get the kind of coverage in your life? You don't have that kind... Fuck you, Joe Namath.
All right, good.
Go fuck yourself, Namath.
I mean, really, the nerve, Josh.
I know.
You don't have the time?
I guarantee you win if you make this phone call. No, come on, Joe.
I think
Joe, that was 50 years ago.
I think he's just basically cashing in. And he doesn't cash in that big because he seems to be continues doing them.
Yeah, I don't think it's a huge account for him, but it might be, between his pension and his Social Security.
How about his
Probably
investments?
gets him by, plus his reverse mortgage.
How about his investments in Bachelors 3? No?
Is that a movie?
Bachelors 3 was the club that they made that they were going to force him to not be a part of.
Oh, right. That was right. They had bought their own club.
Yeah. And they
like
said,
a bunch of players bought club, or three. Yeah. I'm guessing 3 players bought the club.
3 bachelors, Josh.
Yeah,
3
right.
bachelors.
Right.
Oh, God. I wanted to hang out with him so bad.
News from the 60s.
The stories he probably told, right?
Probably.
My heroes, I think
there was a lot of
My knee hurts.
I have to say, though.
Give me an ice bag.
He had an amazing arm. Have I told you all of my stories? What an arm on that guy.
Yeah.
What an arm.
That time he threw the ball.
But his knees, his first year in the league, he could have been killed. That's amazing is how those, I don't know how anybody survived football back in those days. Because in those days, like a defensive lineman, he could take his fingers and shove them in your face.
I sat with, next to I probably told this story. I sat next to Marvin Freeman years ago on a plane, who was a tight end for both the Packers and the undefeated Dolphins of 72.
Wow.
So he played for both Shula and Lombardi.
Cool.
And he's now a Hall of Famer, but at the time he wasn't. And I was like, do you miss the game? He's like, no, I hated it. And then I saw his Hall of Fame speeches, talked about his love of the game.
Well, I mean, a guy like him, he was a receiver?
He was a tight end, I believe.
Right. I mean, those guys got hit hard.
Yeah, and hit people hard.
Yeah. But the play, anything in football I would be able to handle. You know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for it.
The nachos, the foot long.
But anything. You want me, can I give when I can't give anymore? Yes, I can.
Yes. That just happens to be shorter than other people.
But I never liked the idea where you come across the middle of the field and you get blindsided. Yeah. That's what I don't want to have happen.
That's your biggest fear?
Well, all I'm telling you is that if you do play football and you are a tight end, you're going to get blindsided.
It's
And in the old days, they encouraged you to make it more, or to go out of your way to make it painful. Now they're at least, these kids today.
Back in our day, we could horse collar a guy with an actual horse collar.
The guy I told you I met was Deacon Jones, and he was.
They call him Deacon Jones.
I always wondered. They were not referring to Deacon Jones, right? In that song.
No, they were not.
Oh, he's not in that song.
No,
I totally now thought the song was. They call me Deacon Jones.
No, it wasn't. That was hypnotism.
Okay, you did a good job with that, because if I had to swear in a court of law,
right,
I would swear that those were the.
They got a name for the lineman in the world.
I want one. But now, how about the song Orange Crush?
Yeah, the REM song?
Yeah. Isn't that named for the team, the Orange Crush? Or they got...
No, the team was named for the soft drink.
Right. So what's the real story? Is there an anecdote here?
REM is referring to the soft drink.
Oh, because they got my Orange Crush, right?
Right.
That can't be the song. I thought I must have been getting the words wrong. It wasn't a song, they don't have knee high, so I got an Orange Crush. Is knee high right?
Well, I don't think the kids know the knee high that well. I only know it because of Radar O'Reilly. So
You got Dr. Pepper? I got my Orange Crush.
Well, I don't know what that song's about now that I realize it. I may not know what any, and I loved them. I love those 3 albums. I listened to them all day and night. I don't think I know what one of their songs is about.
all right, which 3 albums?
Life's Rich Pageant. Can you name me some more?
Probably.
It's not what.
Probably Document you had with End of the World.
Yes. And one more that had. That wasn't automatic.
Out of Time, did you have?
Yes, I had that one too.
All right. Automatic for the People.
Yes, but that's a later one, right? That's a.
I think
not a later
Automatic.
one.
I think Automatic for the People followed Out of Time.
And and Life's Rich Pageant, for example, I don't think I know a word on the album because they didn't clearly say their lyrics, and I was on a lot. I was taking drugs and things like that.
Sure.
Have you ever listened? I mean, I know the song. I think I know the song. Andy, are you grooving on Elvis? Not grooving on Elvis. He's goofing on Elvis, right? Andy, are you goofing?
In the game of life. Yeah.
They're really great, aren't they?
They were, yeah.
I love them so much. Thank you. And we'll be back with more of Andy Kindler's controversial takes. Did you like Van Halen, or was that never part of your jam?
I did like Van Halen some. I was never a Van Halen fan, but I was of the MTV age when Jump and Panama and that album got huge.
I love that video. Don't you love the video where David Lee Roth kind of comes around and he looks like he's going to play with his guitar, and he just I guess I love that time period of videos, and they may not have been that good, but I remember loving that video.
Yeah, I don't think it was that good a video. I'm on a different page with that one, but it was on all the time. So
no, I think I said it wrong. I think I love the song and the video. I think I love the video because I like that one moment when David Lee Roth plays with the guitar. I also like the moment where one of the other Van Halens, they give him like a look.
And then David Lee Roth comes up and plays with the guitar, and then Eddie puts the cigarette on his headstock on the guitar, and then he does a karate chop, and then it's jump.
I also love, I wish I could sing a song where I said, like I saw a woman, I went, I see you there with your back against the wrecking machine. I'm not the worst that you've seen. I wish I could have that, I guess it's masculinity of some type.
Of some type, yeah.
And also a sense of, how me and you, when we used to go to clubs, we knew we were going to get it on that night.
You and me?
Yeah, when we were players back in the old.
Oh, with the ladies, not with each other. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
We went to Red Onion on Friday.
All right, sure.
And then we would go to El Torito because you knew the woman who made the margaritas.
Right. Because her name was Margarita, oddly enough.
By the way, I did remember another really embarrassing thing. I don't remember it now, but I was like, you're going to like this story.
Oh, damn.
You seem to do like the stories where I'm willing to admit really, embarrassing things.
I do. It's not necessarily a kind part of me, but I do.
No, but it's fun.
Yeah.
It is fun. Well, we all know that your reaction to my Christmas story was inappropriate and wrong, and that you hurt me deeply.
I gave it a shot.
Whoa! Double whammy. Came back underneath, and it was a reversed layup.
That's right. Yes!
You know when they say this? Here's something that when they go high off the backboard, when they just like does a thing, but it's high off the backboard.
Yeah.
That would only happen with me by mistake. He went high off the glass.
A lot of times that's how it happens for them, too.
Yeah, but I do think I just have this feeling like when you're that tall, you can almost see, you can reach the rim almost.
I think there's that. There's also the millions of repetitions in your lifetime.
That's true. But I've noticed that a lot of these guys, the way they shoot foul shots is unbelievable. And they shoot him so, like someone like Shaq is not Shaq, LeBron's a big guy, but he shoots foul shots beautifully. It's almost like Shaq was doing a joke character, I think.
It is almost like that.
How could he be that off? Someone said he had a problem with his wrist or something like that.
It's a psychological thing. It totally is, because apparently he could hit him just fine in practice.
Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny because it's like, yeah, you think if someone not responding to, I know I would choke on every one of those.
I'm sure I would too.
Yeah.
That's not where my nerve lies, is in confidence in my physical abilities.
Yeah, it's also not fair to say, I don't think I could do it. Yes, you can't do it. But if you could do it, then maybe you would be able to be okay.
Yeah, I think,
foul shots.
if you had made it to the NBA, you would have probably gotten it down, because you didn't get there because of your size.
Right. But like, when I saw that guy who was injured, his neck was injured. He came back, Abu Dhabi.
Bam Adebayo, yeah.
Yeah. And they show him practicing. He goes to the right, to the left, the right, to the left, like these simple shots. I would drive me nuts. These guys really enjoy basketball. If you had been that good at basketball, do you think you would have enjoyed being? Would you have enjoyed? I mean, there's no connection to say you're a fan, and that means you would have been a player. But
if I was that good at it, yeah, of course I would have enjoyed it.
Let me, you know what? Give me some more time so I can think of more stupid questions.
If you were great.
If you played violin like Yasha Heifetz,
if you could make $40 million a year playing a game that you love and are great at, would you like it?
What would you think about that? Would you like that opportunity? I'm just saying, I'm trying to convince myself that, basketball wouldn't be that much fun if I was doing it full time.
Yeah. No, I mean,
I hated.
I never wanted to be a professional athlete. That was never one of my fantasies.
Unfortunately, I did, and I just hated it when people got taller than me so fast.
Yeah.
And I just said, "This is wrong." And then I let it go.
And I was even pretty coordinated. I was slow and fat, but I had actual rudimentary skills in a lot of sports. Mm-hmm. And still, I couldn't overcome the reality to fantasize about a life in sports.
No. And basketball was my favorite sport, and I was the best at. Football was my favorite sport, and I was actually good at like a receiving and stuff. I would have been dead. I would have been killed.
Yeah.
I got scared.
I was
away
a bad
they made fun
basketball
of me.
player as a young man.
You were bad?
Bad, yeah. I never really quite got the game until I started watching it as an adult.
And then when did you start playing?
I played as a kid, and then I played as a comic, and with the other comics, we had a.
Oh, so you were over at Shandling's house?
No, I wasn't.
Well, no, I think you were.
First rule of Shandling's house is don't talk about Shandling's house.
Who'd you play with, Fetterman, or who'd you play with? I don't know anybody who plays.
This was all in Minneapolis.
Oh, I used to play a lot in Manhattan Beach. I was the worst player there, but they were like Lakers. Like there was a guy who worked on the Lakers who played there, and I thought it was so cool.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
You still do, apparently.
Oh, I don't think I'm cool. I know I'm cool. Don't hang up on me right then.
I was there.
You're too hacky.
I was there.
It was very hacky.
I was there, and I was there before you even said it. And then I was like, "Oh, this will be perfect." And then you were like, "Don't hang up on me."
The Tonight Show for stand-up comics is absolutely the worst forum for stand-up comics. It's like applause breaks are not appropriate for stand-up comedy. Okay, you want to applaud the end, but just constantly after every joke. Applause is not good, and it couldn't be more middle of the road. And I really believe that Jay Leno, I'm totally serious about this. The only person I experienced this with besides Jay Leno was Super Dave, who I think has gone through one too many cardboard walls. Okay, I think one too many styrofoam blocks has fallen on his head. But there's this disease in Hollywood where you don't want. I didn't know about this till I experienced it, but you don't want people around you to be funny because you're scared that it will take away from your own funniness. I think that's really sad. I really think that's what Jay Leno has. I think that's why he didn't want to have a sidekick. I think that's why he just wants to have Kevin Eubanks laughing like a hyena at the band. That's why he doesn't really use many comics who are that funny. He doesn't want anybody around him to be funny. And the other thing is that if you're a comedian, you should want to be a comedian. You shouldn't be in it to be a talk show host. As soon as you make your job, I'm running for the office of talk show host, that's where you screwed yourself up. Your job should be to be as funny as you can and to get in touch with whatever it is that made you want to be a comedian. And it's not, thank you very much. I think those people goddamn agree. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, Jesus Christmas.
Okay.
Huh?
Okay. Output.
Uh-huh.
There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how many times you toggle it before the call.
It's weird.
I don't have a windscreen.
That's all right.
So
it's all good. We're just hearing.
So
this week's listeners get to hear a lot of P's, and that's okay.
Well, the thing that you have that I don't have is any spare audio equipment.
Right.
I bet you have a windscreen somewhere. I have to order everything I need. I have to order, and even the USB thing I got through you. Without you,
well, if you need a windscreen,
if I don't, I mean,
I can give you yours from the regular in-person show.
Oh, that would be very exciting. Okay, we'll figure that out then. I could order one from Best Buy or something. Anyway, this is not what the people need to hear.
Ooh.
No, this is.
But if we start using that criteria,
well, I guess I'm conscious of time because I can feel myself getting anxious.
Are you okay? Well, that's to be expected, I guess.
Yeah, so I know I want to write more, but it's not like I don't know.
Don't fall into the write more trap before doing a true inventory of what.
Oh no! Okay. I'm not writing more. I'm doing it's an organizational.
Okay.
It's how to put it together trap, right. Which is a better trap than the let me go back.
It's a better trap because at least it keeps you familiar with the material you're going to actually do.
Exactly. Well, yes, and the only thing I'll say, I mean, I think people will love to hear this part. No, is that sometimes I have like 3 or 4 days before something, my mind gets foggy, so I have to start to remember like what my main things are. It's like, I don't want to forget the thing about people becoming horrible stand-ups, becoming billionaires. There's certain things I want to remember. So,
right.
So,
write those down.
Yeah. Oh, I have them all. Everything is written. It's all written. Oh, it's all written down. The only thing I don't have.
I mean, in reduced form.
In reduced form, yes,
is what I'm saying.
Why did I just agreed to something? I don't know what that meant. What you meant? Yes.
I just mean give yourself a page with just has topics on it.
Oh, okay.
And then
I see. So I know to hit that. Okay.
Yeah, or build your set with the topics you want to hit, and then go to your list of jokes and cut and paste them under each heading, basically.
Right. But the problem is, I only think of those themes because I did 2 interviews in the last couple of days, and then they said, "What are you talking about?" And every year, "What are you talking about?" And my mind goes blank. Then I have to, but it's all in my mind. It's not. It's just that my mind gets.
Right.
But my mind, I think, will clear up more today because I feel more comfortable than I would normally do. I don't think I'm going to have an unproductive organizational day.
Right. I think there's just there's a line I'm thinking of right now as we're talking, so I have to say it out loud. You're doing half the time. Because there was half the show business this year. Is
that line written?
That's just something I'm writing as I'm saying it.
Ah, yeah.
That's
right.
Because what we've been doing this last 6 months, people, is not show business.
Right. Me,
including this. This is not show business.
Well, who's supposed to remember this now? Are you going to send it to me?
Well, I will.
Or I should write it down.
Well, no, I'm recording it. That's why I'm saying it out loud, is because that's the one way I know for sure.
Yeah, but you won't get to it before tomorrow. Tomorrow's
I'll
my
make a point
deadline.
Of it. Stop being a big panic machine.
Baby, I am not being a big whine. I'm not whining. I'm not whining. But I did forget the wording on the Woody Allen joke. I have no idea, so I need your wording on it because I completely forgot.
I got it.
All right. Okay. I wrote that down on another sheet. I'm dropping papers on the floor.
Yeah, dude, keep a sheet right now of things that we're talking about that you could use and then send it to me.
Okay.
Even if you have to just take a picture of it and text it.
Okay. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, you know it. You know it, brother. And I think this is the type of thing that could spin off into behind the scenes, maybe.
Yeah, well, we've been doing this this is like our fourth one, I think.
Right.
People know the process.
I wonder if Peruche has them all crosstabs. I don't really know what crosstab means, but I hear them use it all the time. Do you know what it means?
It's not a thing, really. That's the thing.
What do you mean? Look at the crosstabs.
Yeah, you can say it.
What does it mean?
You want. It doesn't make it a thing.
Oh, I think you're. Oh, nay. Oh, nay. What am I saying? Oh, contraire. That's what I'll say to you. Oh, contraire.
All right.
Josh.
All right. You're no contrarian, all right.
I'll tell you right now, if someone's listening to the show, if you're listening to the show live, look up crosstabs and you tell me I'm wrong.
Are you telling me to do it, or are you literally?
No, I wrote it. I wrote it down. There's no way I cannot do two things at once.
All right.
Okay? So, I got a text now. So I had to look at the stupid phone. What am I going to do?
What are you going to do about it?
Yeah. This doesn't help anything you're trying to do.
Well, here's your answer. Maybe is this what you were talking about? Crosstabs is an SPSS procedure that cross-tabulates two variables, thus displaying their relationship in tabular form. In contrast to frequencies, which summarize information about one variable, crosstabs generates information about bivariate relationships.
No wonder. You know what, though? I think people misuse it to say the general. Let's look at it's like don't they say that? What's the other one? The metrics. That word's overused too a lot.
Yeah.
Let me think of the metrics.
The analytics is big.
Analytics.
Yeah.
And logistics. I love that commercial about logistics.
Okay.
Which I really don't know what it is. I think I do. But.
I don't. You don't know what logistics is, or the commercial?
Well, I know the commercial. I think logistics is how do we get something somewhere, but it doesn't have to be a delivery, right?
No, logistics is the nuts and bolts.
Please don't. No, please. No
figuring out the
condescending.
nuts and bolts of any operation.
No condescending tone.
Major
will be
operation.
tolerated.
How about that? I wasn't condescending to you.
No, let me hear the exasperated. Let me hear the exasperated guy who I've asked this 12 times.
Jesus Christ, Andy! Logistics. We've talked about this. Fuck, man.
Okay, dude. Hey, come on.
It's the part of the script where everyone is chasing after it.
Okay, well, I'm sorry, but you're so I can't learn under these circumstances.
God damn. God.
Oh, man. I've never seen this. God damn. Logistics. Do I have to spell it? Do I need to punch it into your mouth? What? Okay. Too far.
All right.
Too far.
I wouldn't threaten you on such a tender time.
There's no reason to threaten me because I'm already cowering.
That's your next album. That's your next album title, I'm pretty sure.
I always tell people, when I go into a new relationship, I'm pre-flinching. I'm pre-flinched.
Yeah.
And that wasn't as good as I thought. Boy, I thought that was going to be like a real humdinger. Oh.
Let's keep your energy and get into these questions. How about that?
You could tell, though. You could tell I could fanny flag, right? Very quickly. Fanny flag.
How does one characterize a fanny flag?
Just flagging.
Okay.
I went
for
the
colonel flag.
Play.
You could be a colonel flag then as well.
Yeah. I went for the wordplay. I didn't have a deeper joke.
All right. I thought you had some fried green tomato thing.
She was in, I think, 5 Easy Pieces.
Was she?
I think so, but I'm often wrong.
She was in Match Game and she wrote fried green tomatoes.
I didn't know she wrote fried green tomatoes.
Yeah, she wrote the book from which it was.
Did
These are things that I did. Was not aware of that, sir.
Sous vide says, "Hey, Marlon Brando, has the situation improved?" Ooh. Well, that's a stupid question, I think, is really what that is. There's no way you can look around and see the injustice and the absolute absurdity of ego and narcissism sitting there and not say that the situation has completely gone off the rails.
I think Marlon Brando is my new favorite character now. And in fact, I don't even think I need to hear me and Bob Dylan anymore because Marlon Brando is so good.
I appreciate that, my little friend.
Yes. You are very... I don't know how you got it so fast, or maybe you were practicing before the show.
No, of course, that's just ridiculous. D. Steele says the term fuckface is so funny because it doesn't mean anything. Like shithead means stupid or dickhead means jerk. So the whole meaning of fuckface is just, I want to disrespect you right now.
I agree with that assessment of it. It is that way. I do believe it's...
I used to like fucktard a lot, and then that got sort of dodgy.
Yeah, that one's a tough one. But I had used it recently, but I never used the joke. It was like, there isn't one way to grieve, fuckface.
Right.
I mean, it's like, what am I going to do? You know what? I love the way I back into seeing if you like jokes.
Yeah, it's always a good plan with me.
Yeah. What do you think of that joke?
Annotated MST, says, since somebody there managed to steer the conversation back to a speech and never went back, we were wondering if there's anything else Josh could tell us about his latest stint as Tom Servo. Little MST tidbits.
That's right.
We live for that stuff.
Well, I don't like what kind of an attitude does annotated MST bring into the table? Well, I can't. Annotated MST predates
to crystallize
me.
it would be annoyed by you, I think would be the attitude, yeah.
And I think I see, I can see it because there's an opportunity for us to learn about something that interests you and many other people. But I just didn't pick it up. I'm wrong for it.
That was me saying I did a thing and you going, oh, that's not about me. Blah, 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 blah.
Right, exactly. Well, I don't think we have to do too much of the illustrating how horrible I am. I think everybody gets it.
That was. I did an act out on your line.
So now I think it would be a good time. I hate to annotate the show. I don't know what that actually means. Does it mean adding your own material, or what does it mean? What's an annotation, I guess?
Annotation is information about the text.
Okay, that's
like
good.
The stuff in the margins in a textbook.
Yeah.
Or footnotes is annotations often.
They used to say my comedy was in the
footnotes are
margins.
a form of annotation.
Okay. Yeah.
Pop-up videos is the most rudimentary version of annotation.
Yes, exactly, for the kids.
Right. Well, we did 2 shorts. Both of them are pretty good shorts for the Riffin'. And they're going to premiere at the end of this month through, follow Joel Hodgson and his MST3K info stream to find out specifics. But it was really fun. We did it all remotely, and we did it live together. So it was Bill Corbett and Joel Hodgson and me, and I think we had funny riffing jokes, and I think you'll enjoy them. And I'd love to hear what you think of it.
Yeah, I was going to pretend while you were doing that.
No,
I was going to pretend that I was walking back into the room because I left the room when you talked about Mystery Science Theater. I was going to say something like, I don't know if he's done, but he was talking to somebody about the... Hello, am I okay? Did I miss anything?
It would have been a good gag. I think it was even worth going back for this time. Shucky Ducky says, I hear Charles Nelson Riley, Nick Nolte, and Paul Lynde were recently spotted walking into a bar together. Wonder what that conversation was like. Parenthetically, James Mason was the bartender. All right.
Oh my God, I gotta tell you something. He could not have put less effort into a scenario.
Well, hello, gentlemen. Welcome to the Fuzzy Navel.
You name your bar after one drink? It's odd.
It's our specialty.
Okay.
We created it here.
I'm sorry. Sorry. Just ignore me.
Who are you, by the way?
I'm Andy from the show, but I tried to.
All right. Excuse me, I have customers.
I'm a Jew.
Gentlemen, and welcome back to the Fuzzy Navel. I see it's always nice to have your celebrity faces here. What can I get you?
Oh, I'll have the namesake beverage. Oh.
That's disgusting. I would never. I'll have a gin and tonic, and I'll have the same for my partner here. Well, we ain't partners and we ain't friends. I'll have a beer. All right, there we go. I scrolled through.
Who was the third guy?
It was Nick Nolte. Doing dialogue from 48 Hours to help you as a prompt.
Yeah, I'm in Beverly Hills. I'm living in your backyard. I'm living in your backyard.
I'm down and out right now.
I'm down and out right now, but I'm in Beverly Hills.
Don't you see the juxtaposition?
I don't know if it's irony, but it's...
I'm about to do a poor man's being there, which is ironic because we're in Beverly Hills.
I'm Nick Nolte. I'm kind of or I could be Charles Bukowski in a different skit.
Natweet Bahara says, and I'm gonna give you an annotation here. We talked about Paul Lynde and how we'd love to hang out with him last week.
Right.
Natweet Bahara says Paul Lynde would be a great hang, except that Gilbert Gottfried says he was a virulent anti-Semite.
Oh, that's that is not good.
Natweet Bahara also says, regarding my tweet in TS177, it's true. I admit it. I had missed all the references to Godwin's Law from Andy, and I had just learned about it. Very embarrassed.
What do you mean he just learned about my whole shtick with it?
No. Of course you don't recall, but he wrote a tweet basically telling you that Godwin's Law existed and explaining it. And you said,
seriously,
you said it must be shtick, and I said, no, I think he just learned what Godwin's Law is. And he's saying, in fact, I was correct.
Well, by the way, I can't stress this more, that if I ever have dementia, I don't want you anywhere near me. Seriously.
Yeah,
because you probably forgot. I just told you it was Thursday, fuckface.
No, I'll just start songs and walk away.
Okay, I'm embarrassed now that I forgot who we were talking. I'm not even high. I think it's stress.
Yeah.
But I forgot who Tweet Bahara said was racist.
Paul Lynde. Anti-Semitic. Not that there's a difference, really, but
Is that a difference? Isn't that terrible? Why? You know what? Not Tweet Bahara knows a lot of things that make me upset about people. I know.
So said the little Jew.
He just got back from the temple. The little Yid just got back from the temple.
Yid is not a current slam.
Can I get you a kichel?
Keep the Jew occupied. I'm going to call Goebbels. That's him. That's Paul Lynde, World War II, but it's not the same voice.
I'm going to check my Rolodex of Nazis.
What's the matter with Jewish kids today?
Jason Parton says, you guys remember that little line on checks that says 4? What's the oddest thing you've ever written on that list? I used to write smuggling diamonds just for fun.
I have never written anything that I would say is particularly clever there, and every once in a while I've put something there that may be useful down the line that to remind me. But generally, it's not a big area for me.
I have used crack a few times. But that's the only joke I've ever done with that.
But you mean like to the gas company or something?
No, to my brother.
Oh, okay. Why did I think immediately it had to be a prank?
It was. I mean, it was essentially. It was a joke.
Yeah, it was
it's
between
a joke.
brothers, though.
It's a joke, not a prank.
No, but it would be to me. If the prank would be if you did send it to the gas company.
Yeah.
Because then you'd be like, "Are they going to come after me?" I would be thinking.
All right, good joke. I came up with this great joke that no one will ever notice, but it'll make me worry for 3 months.
How many things that were going around the world? How slow was it when people thought for 2 months we're not going to put postage on our bills, and that's the way we're going to get back?
What?
Because that for a little while people were going, you know what? Let the gas company pay my postage, but then your bill, they wouldn't take your mail.
Well, this massive movement didn't reach my radar.
Hey, how hard is it to take? Is there a quick way to take things out? Can you do it with keywords?
It's
maybe?
quicker than trying to find the good stuff.
I laugh the laugh of someone who doesn't have to do the work.
I appreciate it. Seth Thick III says, why is every woman that's in a porn film called a porn star and not porn actress? There are stars, I guess, but certainly not all of them. Please don't let Mama Dick hear I've been asking about porn movies. I'm sorry.
I think you have a...
Mama Dick III, I apologize. I blew it for you. There. See? It's still working.
I agree, though. I agree with I think the point is well, the idea that it's a porn star. And, but I don't know. I don't know if there's a big market for improving. There should be a bigger market for improving how we talk about sex workers.
There should be. There should also be, if you're going to do stand-up bits about them, have a little more, Greg Kelly says, I have a fire pit, and this week had some neighbors over.
It's not going to be neighbors. It's going to be Walter Brennan, right?
Wouldn't that be refreshing if it was?
Yeah.
Because he was in the area. James Mason came by.
And I'm easy to fool, too.
Over beers, James was a guest. You really are. You really did Sherlock in on this one quickly. Over beers, James was aghast to hear that Josh didn't think the verdict held up. He calmed down when Heaven Can Wait came up. What Beatty Groden stories?
Well, yes, I know this Elvis character doesn't have much taste, but thank goodness I have Heaven Can Wait on my resume, yes.
I've never heard a defensive James Mason.
I don't know what to do with this one, really. Other than read it aloud. I should have read it in my voice, and we would have been done with it.
I giggle openly sometimes during this segment.
I'm good. I'm glad. It keeps me going. It's my nourishment. Perush says, I heard that Joseph Cat Stevens is who he refers to, once wrote a Don Mattingly ode. How would that have sounded?
What is this?
Hey,
Don Mattingly?
Mr. Mattingly, you're the best at Battingly. See, you just gotta wait
What's
for it.
making you Battingly?
You gotta wait for it sometimes.
Why can't I wait for it? I'm not going to deliver it. All I have to do is sit back and see
Perush
what happens.
laid it all out there for us, and I was just delivering on it.
I can't get enough of the older Cat Stevens sounding like someone who's covering somebody else's songs and isn't that into them.
Right. At a retirement home. Otherwise,
He did not need to really release those songs. He did not need to do it.
No, he didn't. I would have done a fake greatest hits album anyway, but he had his hook was 50th anniversary. And because when you're listening to an album, you're going, this is good, but man, if this guy was half a century older, it would really cook.
If the guy singing it, it seemed obvious that he's lost his connection to the original song. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. I
want to hear someone.
It has a certain vitality that turns me off.
No, but very brave, though. Very brave making a hit album over it.
Yes.
I hear Carole King's going to make Tapestry.
She's going to reweave it. Otherwise Blameless says, gentlemen, did either of you watch Night Flight from the USA Network back in the 80s and 90s? It was almost like YouTube before the internet with odd movies, videos, etc. P.S. Classic episodes and new stuff are available streaming on the internet for a small fee. Wait, that made it seem like an ad there at the end.
Is that a robot?
Otherwise,
No, but
otherwise, bleep blorp just says. I did watch Night Flight. Yes, I mean I was a teenager in the 80s, so Night Flight.
Who hosted it?
Sometimes it was just a voiceover and graphics.
Oh, what's Up All? Wasn't there like an Up All Night?
Yeah, that was
too,
also
or?
USA, I believe. But yeah, and I think Night Flight was the precursor to Up All Night.
And wasn't Gilbert Gottfried or somebody on that show? No.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Wow, I say. I love Friday Night Videos. That was my favorite show. It was the worst show. I was obsessed with how bad it was.
Yeah.
It was hosted by Henry Cho, was the comedian.
Well, that was after it was Friday Night Videos for like 15 years or something, or 10
Oh, who was the previous, who were the other
Well,
hosts?
before that, before it was Henry Cho, it was Friday Night Videos was a franchise that showed music videos. And then they tried to convert it into a comedy show to save it because it was one of NBC Productions' few shows.
I don't think they did a great job with it, though.
They did not. It was also the wife of the head of the studio, NBC Studios.
Yes, that
hosted it for quite some time.
And I was attracted to her physically. I didn't meet her, but so I did. I kind of like, oh, okay. But Henry Cho, he'd say, I think I said this before. A comic would come up, his name, and so what do you think? And it was a movie review. What did you think? I'm not going to bag on him. That's a friend of mine. I'm not going to bag on him.
Yeah, I know that.
That's good TV.
I like Henry. I haven't seen him in 20 years, but I used to like Henry quite a bit.
I could tell that I messed up somehow.
No, I was waiting to hear what you were accusing him of before I.
No, it wasn't a major thing. It wasn't a major thing. I wasn't going to go off on what's that clicking noise. No, let me back out of this by saying there needs to be more people like Henry Cho, and that was my point.
Yes, well said.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you for setting me right about it.
Perush says, I heard that a fly once sat on James Mason. How would that have conspired? I think he means transpired.
That's the worst. That is the worst connection of two unrelated topics I've ever heard.
Well, he did a back-to-back. He also did a fly once sat on Andy's droopy. What was the reaction?
Oh, God. What, is he doing this in his sleep now?
This is the first tingle I've felt in years.
I don't think I should be subjected to a fly.
I defer to Andy's penis in this one.
Go ahead, have at it. Have at it.
I had at it. It was fun. I delighted in it.
I've noticed the last couple of shows, you're kind of a ham a little bit.
Yes, do you think?
I guess when you can't produce in one area, you want to compensate for it in a different area.
I don't understand what that means.
Yeah, because I'm way smarter than you, my penis. You're just a piece of flesh. All the thinking happens up here. Fuckface.
I wish I was a fuckface. I long for the days.
Oh, that made me feel good.
Steve Infield says, hello again. Andy, your mention of Christmas and Wham in the last episode got me excited for the airwaves to soon be filled with that English pop duo's big holiday hit, Wake Me Up Before You Ho Ho. Do you like where this is going? And do you like where this is going is a jab at you, because that's what you said after the punchline of the green kids on the back of the bus joke. I like where this is going.
I like where this is going. Do you like where this? Look at these listeners. All they do is they Schadenfreude me. That's all they do.
It's laser surgery with these people. Shucky Ducky is back to say, with all the mishigas surrounding Mike Pence's pink eye situation, can Gregory Peck offer any advice or a solution? You're calling me a ham, but I'm just here to fucking answer these things, Andy.
No, I didn't say you were ham. I said when you do my penis, you're ham.
Oh, I thought you meant in general I'm a ham.
No. I'm saying I think that my penis is starting to see how it's a major operator on the show. And
now I understand. It's my time to shine, is what you're saying.
Yes, it is. It is. Yes, and it is.
Did I get through that question? With all the mishigas surrounding Mike Pence's pink eye situation, can Gregory Peck offer any advice or a solution, quote unquote?
Well, I think that's a Holocaust reference, but what I'd really recommend is antibiotics. A short course of a Z-Pack would probably get you through this very quickly. Was that not funny?
No, I just started to think about Trump, just how I love Trump on the Dextro, whatever that stuff is.
Yeah.
That just changes his horrible personality.
I loved how in the New York Times yesterday they wrote, they quoted him saying, "Yeah, I'm on it's not a heavy steroid," said Donald Trump about the heavy steroid methadone he's on. A.D. Morgan says, I'd like to introduce formally the idea that Cat Stevens' entire existence was made possible by the middle eight of the Partridge Family song, I Think I Love You. I don't know what I'm up against. I don't know what it's all about part. Am I right?
I don't know. This is the first I've heard of it.
This is some.
Well, I'm talking about.
This is some thin sauce, A.D. Morgan.
Hey, he doesn't have to worry about it going over. He puts these things out there.
Do you know how that part goes?
Is that the? I don't know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what I'm up against.
I'm talking about. I'm not sure what I'm afraid of. Hey.
Okay.
Yeah, but doesn't help elucidate.
I'm not sure what I'm talking about. I'm not sure what I'm afraid of. That was my best. Cat Stevens doing the thing I don't remember.
I thought it was going to maybe be like a precursor to him becoming Muslim. I don't know. I got it wrong.
Issei76 says, as the official Thought Spiral Mexican, I only have a comment this week. I grew up in Calexico, and Andy has a connection to El Centro, which means he knows that he's talking about when it comes to, is it spicy? You two are great, and so thankful for Test Show 178.
That is so cool. I did not even think that to group ourselves by Mexicans. Do we have a Mexican contingent?
We have our official Issei76.
And I'm telling you, if he's been in El Centro, of course, he knows the food down there is so great. Oh, I can't. Don't get me started on it. My mouth's doing better.
I won't. I didn't.
My mouth's doing much better. You were there at a hamburger place with a little bit of vinegar.
It was ketchup.
Set me up the ketchup. And I just want you to know I'm much better. I can take a little spice now.
Oh, that's good. That's good to know. I mean, it kills my bit. It kills the bit, which is okay.
No. I don't like if it's too spicy, though. Okay. That's the only thing I don't like.
It's just regular ketchup.
I just felt good again in that moment about my hang-up yesterday. I took a second to have that come in my mind again.
Oh, good. Jordan Maywood says, if you could go back in time to tell yourself one thing, but it had to be about food, what would it be?
I always wish I didn't worry about
the food. I would say, yeah, don't buy the hype ever. So I think I did buy the hype at one point where like low fat meant that you were going to be low, that was going to be the answer. So that's a general thing. God, am I boring? I'm so boring. I can't even remember the last time I breathed.
Mine would probably just be, figure out a healthier relationship with it a little earlier in life.
Yeah. There's nothing I wish I had.
And then young me would go, "You're boring, mister." Go back to the future, old man.
Well, I certainly have a thing about certain textures I don't like that I wish maybe I was more open. Like, I wish I liked gloppy food a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I do. Maybe I'm right on the gloppy food.
I don't quite know what qualifies as gloppy with you, though.
Yeah, it's like if something...
Guacamole?
No. I know it's just...
Pudding?
No, it's more like a chicken. Let's say it was a chicken, like it was like food you get at like school when I was a kid.
Like
be like chicken in a thing,
like wet food. It just would be
like
wet food. Wet steamy food.
Wet steamy food. Yeah, that's just gloppy.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So you're using it.
Poutine. I don't like.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I see that.
Because the very nature of it, I'm afraid. Nachos I do because I like when Susan she makes special chips and salsa.
Here they are, not so gloppy, honey.
I don't want any of one food to touch any kind of another food.
Oh, really?
No, but my grandfather was like that.
Total food separation you require on the plate?
My grandfather preferred it because he had separated plates when he was younger.
I get that kind of. I don't have any kind of strong feeling about it. I don't have a can't touch thing. But I don't like the sauce of one thing to run over onto the other.
Right. Exactly.
My wife, however, loves mixing every goddamn thing on the plate onto one fork.
If I love all the flavors, that could be me too.
Yeah.
And I know how that's got to be frustrating to the chef.
Well, she does the courtesy of tasting each thing individually first.
Right.
And commenting on it generally.
Sounds like hell over there.
It's just, there's so much love here, man. There's just so much love.
It sounds like you're
so much love and
corporal.
Respect and appreciation for one another. It's really...
She's afraid to eat.
She's
afraid. She does. Thank you for doing the common courtesy.
But tomorrow we're playing music together.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, we've been doing that every week with another another bass player.
That should be fun.
Yeah. Got a little repertoire building. Adam Nicolitz says, I'm worried about the crowd attending the leaf filter seminar. I think they're being held hostage. I, too, have questioned the validity of their premise of the room full of people asking questions about a gutter cover.
That to me, first of all, the way she shames her father.
Dad, that's dangerous.
I told you not to do it, you stupid old man.
Listen, you little bitch. You're just making a show for all these people. You never said any such thing to me, you little bitch. If you really worried so much, you'd get on that goddamn ladder yourself.
Now, wait a second. You're quite correct there, young lady. He shouldn't.
Don't take her side. Fuck you.
And never again. Let me ask you a question. Is the estimate free? Free? Wait a second. You're coming over to look at my gutters, and you say you'll also look at the gutters? Free? Don't they put it on top of your existing? That's the thing I don't like. Right on top of your garbage that you have.
I think they clean them out first.
Now, wait, what do? You're a homeowner. I would not even know what to do. Do you have them, or you don't need them, or how
I did put wire mesh over them at one point, but the truth is that makes leaves just sit on top of them and clog it that way.
So there's no free lunch?
There's no free lunch when it comes to the gutters.
I hope you're not checking them yourself, stupid. Dad, that's it, Dad. You're not getting any more food.
Larry Harold.
I didn't know I was the only. Hi, Larry Harold. And I can reveal now that I made a cameo that Larry Harold's wife Ellen ordered for him.
Yeah.
And I just completed it last night.
Yeah. All right. Was it
very important news for the show?
Was it funny?
I thought it was. I thought it was. I never. Sometimes I really think like, oh, it's not. I mean, I enjoyed it while I was doing it.
Okay.
And so, but I don't know. You sent me an email yesterday saying that you really should get a cut of all my cameo. I thought that was unfair.
That wasn't really an email. That was a lawyer letter.
Did it come from the law firm of Bernstein?
Larry says, all right, you lovable gents, you've been avoiding this question for a long time. Now we need an answer. What exactly is the point of our life on Earth?
I am so, as they say on political news all the time, good question. Good question. I believe, I really don't have an answer to this. Be here now, I guess. Is the
Always go with love, Andy. Always go with love.
Oh, my God. I can almost feel your hand on my knee.
Wow. Maybe your sensation's coming back then.
I actually, it is love. I think you're right. And I like as if I'm the actual teacher who has the answers. But it is love. That's why they say that when you come and you do these mystical experiences with mushrooms and you come down, it sounds like what you're looking at is trite. You know, you go, I know it looks like all you need is love but that's how you feel on those trips.
Right.
So you were doing it sarcastically.
Not really.
But you.
Not really.
Okay.
I'm doing it from the position of beat that.
No, you can't. You can't top it. Oh, I know. Revenge.
Oh, fuck, of course. Duh.
You forgot revenge.
Shit. Television Savala says, hey guys, first a statement. A cameo from Andy is the best deal in town. Loved it. Yeah. Now a question.
Thank you.
What was the last song stuck in your head? It had to be Lisa from earlier in this podcast. It's still there from the Mattingly question.
I had a terrible
and it'll be there until the next song.
Yeah, I had one that was like that too. I can't think of it right now, but it was like, I hate when I'm in the shower and I want to sing and I will sing a song I don't like that much.
Yeah.
Because what's the point then? You're really not doing any God's work then.
I catch a song easier than COVID. I just have to hear 2 words and it's literally, that's the default track in my head till the next one comes along.
Well, there's a couple of commercials that have songs that are like, there's one for soap that makes me want to jump out of the window.
Yeah.
Sounds like exotic music. I don't know why.
I don't know why you got so musically xenophobic.
What did I say exactly? Have I stopped knowing how to use words?
It sounds exotic. You said it was a storm.
Well, because here's how it goes. Hi-yi, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da, ho, hi-yi-yi, hi-yi, ba-da-ba-da-ba-da, ho, and it's for soap.
Yeah.
Am I getting...
You were throwing...
Are you getting the song?
No, not at all, but I got sort of a Hopi Indian chant thing going.
That's what I mean. So listen to it one more time. If you ever hear it, see how... If I got close to the go. Here's how it sounds to me. Da-da, ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba, hi-ya. Oh, and those are all voices. Hi-ya, hi-ya, dove.
I kind of know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and it has drums, tribal drums, just like you were saying.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's not a tribal song, is my suspicion.
No, it's like a yoga class of white women trying to be tribal.
That's right. A yoga class of white women. Hi, hey, we're all from the Orient. We're all from Africa. We're all from the islands.
1 Grecian urn.
Oh!
2 Grecian urns. QMOC sends a photo from England, it appears, of a package of candy floss flavor seedless grapes. And says, can an impatient Bob Dylan explain what candy floss is to the cotton candy grape lady, please?
What is it? I'd like to know.
Well, I don't have to explain it to the cotton candy grape lady. I can explain it to you, idiot, then.
Will you stop being moody?
Have you
How
never
long
heard
you
of...
go with this?
Apparently you've never been overseas or out of your apartment because not all cotton candy is cotton candy, my friend.
I never heard of it before. I'm not trying to be stupid.
Well, if you ever go to a carnival in England, don't order cotton candy because they'll look at you like you're looking at me right now, like an idiot.
But you can order in England, you can say cunt, right?
Well, I wouldn't.
That made me laugh in my own head. But I just love the idea that you'd visit England and go, excuse me, I've heard that I can use the word cunt here a lot more.
But I can't say cotton candy, apparently.
Yeah.
What's up with that?
You can order cotton cunt all day long. Are you going to remove this part?
Just don't order cunt floss.
You made me sick. You did it.
Well, it seems our little friend has a weak constitution. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, yo, yo. Yo, Yoshiyamamoto. Says, and I like this because there's a little bit of a battle going on and it doesn't involve us. Yoshi says, I'm frankly stunned sous vide would respond poorly to someone pointing out a bit could be stale. What kind of time and temp to cook a few pounds of dead horse, huh?
Was he Dennis Miller now?
Yeah, well, I was giving it some oomph.
Wow.
Yeah, because sous vide gave him shit for being sick of James Mason.
Oh, my God.
See how I'm filling you in on what everyone is talking about to bring you up to speed, Grandpa?
Where are you seeing these feuds happening?
I'm pausing so our listeners can feel bad for me.
Why?
Exactly. Perush says...
Exactly.
Hey, it's John Lennon's birthday. Is Andy O'Kindler okay with Harry Chapin?
I saw this earlier. It made me laugh earlier.
Yoshi Yamamoto is back to say, Andy, have you considered the possibility that 1981 Kindler is responsible for these wildfires?
Why won't they push Trump on who this fake foreign leader told him about sweeping up the forest floors? I just want the name.
Sir, we have a forest city. We call it a forest city, sir. And we keep we are meticulous about the way that we manicure our forest floor.
I guarantee you.
Our trees are far more explosive than those of the western United States, and yet we managed to keep this from happening. Please tell your people.
You bet I will.
Sir. Also, fantastic job on that greatest economy in the history of mankind. Sir. Also, it's amazing what you're doing with the COVID. It's all of us over here in Europe, we're all saying it's amazing what he's doing with ventilators, sir. We've never seen anything like it, sir.
Well, I don't like this sarcastic guy. Come over here. I asked you a couple of questions about I can't do Trump.
Putin paid bounties on soldiers says, have you been COVID tested? Do you think it actually puts your mind at ease? I have not been COVID tested. My wife has been COVID tested twice, and it did, in fact, put her mind at ease for a bit.
I have not been COVID tested, but I don't think about it because I'm pretty sure that I am don't have it, and I'm not conducting, interviews or anything.
Yeah, I mean, we're both living, you more than me, even living very low risk lives.
Exactly. Exactly. Except when I ate that whole ciabatta bread that other night.
That wasn't so smart for Mr. Tommy. Richard Cole says today, Monday, October 12th, is Thanksgiving here in Canada. I'm thankful for Thought Spiral every Monday. What are you thankful for? Fuck white supremacist militias. Have you seen pictures of these assholes? Does Joseph Mengele believe they're part of a superior race?
Anyone who uses the name Proud Boy to make it sound like they're tough has no place in my Reich.
Shiftless Element says, I've always pronounced steroid as steroid. Recently, I've heard Dr. Sanjay Gupta and others on CNN say steroid. Have I been saying it wrong all along? Has Dr. Gupta single-handedly revised the pronunciation? Is this what I should be focusing on?
Probably you should be focusing on.
I'm a
I don't really
steroid
know.
guy. I'm a steroid guy.
Steroid. That's how I say it. Steroid.
All right. Yeah, Gupta fuck himself. Stephen Elton Yates says Gibbs free energy is a thermodynamic potential that can be used to calculate the max amount of work that may be performed by a system at a constant temp and pressure. Who was funnier at his best, George Carlin or Richard Pryor? For me, it's the more versatile Pryor.
I think there's no. Well, I don't want to say there's no contest, but Richard Pryor to me was a funnier was a funnier person.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody funnier than Pryor at his best, probably.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
They might be close, but I don't know if no one goes past.
And I like what he's talking about with these systems because my new book with Daniel Siegel is talking about open systems, closed systems, and I'm almost understanding it.
Yeah, you should tab shift between the two.
You check the crosstabs and see what you think.
Oh, thanks. That's what it was. Stephen Elton Yates says, I was president in New York City a year ago, and Andy opened a generous gift of an Apple Watch. As he was thanking the gift giver, he promised to wear it and learn all its features. How's that coming? Nice jab, Stephen Elton Yates.
You know what? Because of HIPAA rules, I'm not at liberty to divulge
nice.
any progress I've made in that area.
Stephen L. Yates also wants to know, it's strange how listening to you two friends talking to each other makes me feel less isolated. Thank you for the audible comfort food each week.
It's a very sweet thing to say, and it's a very nice thing.
He punches with the left and does a reach around with the right.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll leave that as you said it.
Devin Sutton, thank you, Stephen Elton Yates. Devin Sutton says, when I hear the song Karen, it reminds me of It Ain't Me, Babe. Does Mean Bob Dylan share this sentiment? No, I wouldn't dignify it with a comparison.
I don't need Mean Bob Dylan to tell me that's a bad song.
Well, then you're on the path to something.
I thank you. Mean Bob Dylan.
Maggie Mother Mayhem wants to know, how the fuck is Melania doing?
I never hear anything about her.
You don't. I assume she's okay and just is taking the chance to. She's probably in New York.
I don't want to anthropomorphize her too much into an actual human being. Because that's what I think we tend to do. Is like, oh, she must be. No, she's totally happy with everything.
Right. No, that's very funny, by the way. Tom the Tom says, either of you have any experience with the amazing Jonathan? I watched 2 docs on him and came out way more confused. Yeah,
what?
I used to be I was friends with him for a while, and he was a fun hang back in the day. You know, we had a lot of fun together.
Right.
I think we ultimately had a falling out because not really a falling out, but just a falling away. When he was having me write stuff for him for a bit, but it would always just be me going down to his place in Marina Del Rey and fucking around for hours.
Oh yeah, that's no good.
And eventually, I billed him for some of it.
And what happened?
And he was just sort of annoyed.
What did he say? Well, he was like, "Are you kidding me?" or something like that. Are you kidding me with this bill?
It wasn't quite that. It wasn't that. It was more passive aggressive than that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was, but it was clear that that was sort of like where the warmth ended.
With you not wanting to do free work for him forever.
Yeah, or be a buddy on call.
Yeah,
which is what it was kind of turning out to be.
Yeah, I spent a little time with him. I'd say I was more wary of him.
I could see that. He and the makeup woman from Mystery Science Theater were dating for a time, so I got to know him in that context a bit as well.
And he did make me laugh every once in a while on stage.
Yeah, I mean he was very funny. It was very street performery, but it was you pretty much would have to be dead not to laugh during his set.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tom the Tom says, Josh, the Secret Service comes to you and says, we've listened to your podcast and you do good impressions. See, I didn't think it was going to go that way. Have you seen the movie Dave? What would you do?
Certainly confused.
Well, I'll explain his question, Andy. He's saying, what if the Secret Service came to me and...
He would say, Dave's not here? Is that the answer?
No. What if the... Do you know what the movie Dave is?
It's about someone doing the president or something like that. Is that what it is?
It's about someone being recruited almost forcibly to be the president's double while the president is incapacitated.
Is it Kevin Kline?
It is.
Is it a good movie?
It's all right. It's kind of besides the point of this question.
I'm going to be honest with you, and say that I don't know if it's because I'm getting tired, but I have no idea what the question is now.
All right. Well, first of all, it's to me, so it doesn't really matter. And secondly, we've spent much too much time on it. So I would take the gig to pretend to be Trump, and I would undo all of the things I could undo, and then make some sort of grand apology to the universe and fake my own death.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Much like Dave.
I like it. Much like Dave.
Chaotic Neutral says, hey guys, turns out Larry the Cable Guy put out a largely unnoticed special this year. Does this mean his career has finally reached the appropriate level of relevance in the industry? Maybe you should mention him on the SOTI tomorrow. He could use the exposure.
I think that's weird that I haven't heard anything. I don't know. It's like
it's not weird when anyone puts out a comedy special that you don't hear about anymore. That's
right.
As I predicted 2 of your speeches ago.
Yeah. But you know what? He's also not the same phenomenon he was, if you want to call him a phenomenon. He's not at that same. You're not seeing Larry the Cable Guy movies.
No, but I bet if he tours, he can sell 2,500 seats anytime he wants, which is
I'm sure. Yeah,
no small thing.
I'm not worried about him.
Yeah. Just like Jim Gaffigan doesn't have to have a current on-air project to be making lots of money.
That's true.
Michelle, Wise Carver.
Michelle, you are so special.
Gentlemen, best of luck with the big JFL speech tomorrow. I know Josh isn't going to be speaking, but Andy will be saying Josh's words, so don't fuck up anything, guys. I know nothing will get fucked up and no one will feel anxiety, right? Love to you both.
Well, thank you. I'm not feeling as much anxiety as I normally will. But
and I don't think Andy's not. I didn't actually load up Andy with as much as I would normally in a year. Andy did more on his own this year, I think.
Yeah.
And so I'm in a more support role with Andy this year than
right. And I also don't make it easy sometimes because I'll send you a new thing of the but I think it's basically that we're I'm starting to talk. I'm starting to natter on out of nervousness, but I feel no differently than I felt before we talked about it.
All right.
Like I'm very happy. I don't want to jinx anything.
No, I mean I think the fact that it's a half hour makes me feel like
Yes.
just go be Andy for a half hour and be funny, you know.
Exactly.
Chaotic Neutral says, serious question, are you going to be able to hear any audience response during tomorrow's speech?
No.
And fine.
I will hear nothing. It'll be zero. I will hear zero.
I think that's good.
Yeah. I do.
All right. So here's a big, this isn't going to go well. I'm telling you right now. But it comes from Dana Schwartz, who's been putting a great deal of thought into this, apparently. And Dana gives us $25 a month on Buy Me a Coffee. So I'm indulging Dana Schwartz right now.
Nice.
As he tries to keep his running gag alive. And he's expecting me to mountainize the molehill here.
Is that the okay?
Dana says, Andy was very funny last week when Josh read my note revealing who Andy's birthday match was, but did he really know it all the time like he said, or did he forget? He was hilarious, though.
Well, I still would like to find out who the person was.
It's a famous conductor from Baltimore, Marin Alsop, born in Queens the same day as you.
I think he's mentioned this gentleman to me before. He was in the. Did he say anything about him being in the symphony one night?
Marin Alsop, conductor of the Baltimore Symphony, the Vienna Radio Symphony, and several other groups. Maybe you were switched at birth, says Dana.
I'm very happy to know about that. And I will do more in the upcoming year to. It's not a doppelganger, but something.
So Dana then says, how about another one? Does Andy remember what I told him after I met Josh for the first time following the Fiddling Horse premiere? All right, and now we're switching formats, where he has sent me an email with instructions on how to deliver these things, but I'm going to skip to the bottom where he says, this is for Andy. Well, after a month of hilarity and joking about Andy's memory, I have to admit I was kidding about sending the answer last week. It was indeed Marin Alsop, conductor of the Baltimore Symphony and Vienna Radio Symphony and several other groups. Maybe you were switched at birth, which is what I just read earlier. And what I said about Josh was he didn't seem as tall as you had been claiming he was. And Andy replied something about Josh usually wearing elevator shoes. It's all in good, clean fun, right? Good night, everybody. Run credits. End scene.
Well, he did a good. You know what? If you want to judge by persistence, I give him a 10.
He did, and I said there was some correspondence about this, by the way, and you know, I said I'll give it all the gusto I can give it.
I think you did a great job. You didn't look like there was a gun held to your head. We love you, Dana Schwartz.
Dana, you're a big baller.
That's true. That's true. And I will check on and I'll get using the watch more. I want to use the watch, but let's not get off into that because you know me.
No, we have to end the show, Andy.
Yeah, because I'm starting, and I feel bad because I feel like I was starting to not listen as well over the last.
Yeah, you fell off the listen horse,
the cliff.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's okay.
I'm sorry about that.
That's all right. I just had more questions.
Nervousness.
I just had more questions. Otherwise, I would have ended this long ago.
Before we started,
if you'd like to support our show, so-called, please go to buymeacoffee.com. Buy us a coffee. Support us in a one-time coffee purchase or a monthly sort of subscription thing. Either way, we appreciate it. If you don't want to give us money but do want to love us up, go to podcasts on Apple and give us a nice review and 5 big old stars. Andy's got an album called Hence the Humor out. I've got a movie called Michael Des Barres, Who Do You Want Me to Be out. We're both in a movie together called The Fiddling Horse. And that's our show for this evening.
And you know, the thing that right now, you know, anything I say, like if I said to you right now, Josh, I just want to say